Dominic Caddy here with Stare Down TV. I am here with Dagmar, Dammy, Hrund. She just tried to teach me how to pronounce her surname, but I can't do it. But Dammy, if you can just say your surname quickly.
Sigurleifsdóttir.
And that's why I can't pronounce it. But Dammy will be fighting for Fightstar Championship 17 on the 18th of May. You'll be fighting Manuela Marconetto, sorry. So how did this fight come about, Dammy? Like when did you get a call for this fight for Fightstar?
Oh my God, I can't remember the date. I was just like, we were looking for a fight, and Ras actually asked me to fight Erica, who's on the same card, but she's 2 weight categories above me. So first I was like really wanted to say yes, but then like I think a week later he asked me to fight Manuela, so it was awesome.
Great. Did you know much about Manuela when you got the call?
No, I didn't even know her name actually. It was just like she's in the same weight category, and I just said yes.
And what about since then? Have you managed to find much sort of details and footage of her?
No, I haven't even tried actually. I just want to like just think about my game and just think about my game plan.
No, that's fair enough. Well, you had a really good 2018. You fought. It's right. It was your debut in 2016.
Yeah.
And then from there, you didn't fight in 2017, right?
No fight until like last September.
Yeah, and then you fought twice. So you've won your last 2.
Yeah.
Great. So how come? So in 2017, what was the break for? Was it injuries? Was it just time?
No, I was just really spending time on working on on technique, but mostly like my mental health. Just working through trauma I've been through, and yeah, working on my anxiety, self-trust, self-issues.
No, how are you working on that? How, obviously, because that's a continuous battle. It's not like you can stop it. So how what do you speak to people, professionals? Like how do you use those exercises? Because there's a lot of people that deal with that.
Yeah. First I just started like working on it myself, like in 2015, 2016, just on the internet, just reading a lot of stuff. And then in 2017, I started seeing a therapist, which has just been such a breakthrough, and just continuously just working on it. It's a really difficult thing to do, but it's so worth it.
I bet. And as a fighter, I imagine people assume fighters, they don't get nervous, or they might think they get nervous, or like the anxiety and the mental struggles and stuff. They probably think you're a fighter, you don't have that. What do you sort of say to people like that who don't believe that fighters can have those normal issues?
I think people in all work environments and sports can have anxiety and issues like this. Just everybody, I'm in that opinion that everybody should go and see a therapist. Like it's done miracles for me. So I don't get like a lot of anxiety about going into the cage. I get more like I was so stressed before this interview that my palms are sweating.
Yeah.
So these kind of things like that where I have to speak, that's more difficult for me. Like I don't know, I can be more focused when I go like in a cage.
So is that more like the fighting? Fighting is more like your comfort zone, whereas you sort of taking yourself out of your comfort zone with interviews and press and stuff, and so that's where it sort of generates.
Yeah, because my mind, like I overthink, like, oh my God, what if I say something really stupid? If I'm gonna be like, I don't know English. If I was like, oh my God, what if he has an accent I don't understand? But I understand you, so it's good.
That's it. But you thought some of your fights have been in places like, is it Morecambe, wasn't it, in England?
Yeah.
Did you understand anyone in Morecambe?
Yeah, actually,
Really?
I did. Yeah, it's more like, I don't know. It's often like with Scottish people. I love Scottish people, but it's really difficult to understand them often.
I can't understand Scottish
Yeah.
people, so don't worry.
So yeah, but it's just sometimes with the accent, I just really have to think, and I'm like, I don't want to seem like disrespectful. It's just sometimes I'm just like, oh my god, what are they saying? They think I'm not listening.
No, that's it. You know, like, so that can definitely set up some anxiety, but you know, you got to continue to work through that. And you know, we saw on Fightstar's Instagram that you did an Instagram takeover last week.
Yeah.
How was that? You know, it looked like a lot of fun. So how was that for yourself? Obviously, that was something taking yourself again out of comfort zones. How did you find it?
Yeah, I was anxious about doing that because I was just thinking they're like, oh my god, I don't lead a really like exciting life. I just work, I just train, I have my dogs. It's just like, yeah, what am I gonna show them? And I'm weird, so people are gonna think I'm really weird. I'm really hyperactive. So, but then I just decided just to be myself. I always do that, so don't want to put like up a front.
That's the best way to be. And obviously, Fightstar saw it because you know only a few fighters did that. It was yourself, it was Yuki, it was Pascal Baptiste. Only a 3 or 4 fighters did the Instagram takeover. So did they approach you to do that? Did you ask to do that? How did that work?
Ras just asked me to do it. I thought everybody was doing it actually.
Yeah, I've only seen a few, maybe so, but I think it's only been a few so far. And obviously, the fight is now Saturday, so um, obviously I'm not sure. But are you still in Iceland right now?
Yeah, actually, we're flying out tomorrow morning.
Okay, great. And so, how long is the flight from Iceland to? Are you flying into Heathrow?
I think so.
How long's the
I'm
flight to
just gonna
England?
show up at the airport and just bring my passport and say like I'm fighting.
That's all you can do. How long is the flight then? Do you know?
I think it's about 3 hours.
So it's not too big of a, too big of an issue. But in terms of, you know, flying anyway, some people it bloats them out. That you retain water when you fly, stuff like that. In terms of that, flying so close to the fight, so you fly tomorrow and then you weigh in the next day. How is
Yeah,
that in terms of weight?
it hasn't been a problem for me. Um, and also, I've heard that it's really good just to like wear compression clothes
Yeah,
for it.
some
So
socks as well, right?
yeah, I think so. So I might, yeah. Good thing you reminded me of that because I'm such a last minute person. I'm like, before you called me, I was trying to do like a list, like, what do I need to do today? What do I need to pack actually?
But no, there you go. So you're welcome for that. So that flight, you've done that before. When do you fly back after the fight? Do you fly back on the Sunday or?
Sunday morning, I think I'll be in the 6 o'clock flight or something.
Is that just due to work commitments or you just don't like England?
No, I love England. It's just like it was the cheapest flights.
Yeah.
We're cheap.
So what you can do right now, and when you're coming up in the game. So you say you work as well. Where do you work?
I have my own massage place.
Okay. Is it sports massage? Like
Yeah, it's like sports massage, torture massage. People call me Satan.
your nickname's Unicorn, but people call you Satan.
Yeah, it's like I've been thinking about if I have to change it to Satan the Unicorn. Sorry, I'm just going crazy.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good one. But so how do you obviously you work for yourself, so you manage to find time to balance training and work.
Yeah.
But obviously with massage, it's dependent on when your clients can meet you, right? So how do you sort of balance that between training and your clients' time?
Well, like when I was first starting, I also hadn't started my self work and all that. So then I was thinking, okay, I have to just go like when can you come to me? So now I'm just thinking more like these are my hours. If you can come, you can come. If not, that's your problem. So I try to be strict about that. I like often work like 2 or 3 massages in the morning, then training, come to see my dogs, then I go back again to work, and then again training, and then walk my dogs.
Do you have a lot of like your training partners come visit you for massages? Obviously, it must be handy to have a sports masseuse in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah, and they love to hate me or hate to love me. I'm not really sure which one is more appropriate. Yeah.
When obviously, but do they try and get different times? Obviously, if they can't fit, are they going to be like, no, come on, we're training partners. You can do it at this time, or are you very strict on your times?
It's I'll be honest, some of them tend to be like using their charms on me, so I'm just like, okay, well, you're adorable. So, but I try to be strict.
No, that's
Okay,
good
I
to
hope
hear.
they don't look what's this? So
How about when you got? Are you looking to hopefully turn pro one day, or are you still undecided right now?
I'm trying to be just like one fight at a time kind of girl. Yeah, I would love to go pro, but I'm not rushing into it. I just want to just really trust my coaches just to decide kind of for me, like this is a good fight, because I kind of tend to be like, yeah, you have a fight, okay, yes. Do you want to know something about the girl? No. Is he about the same weight? Okay, that's good.
Right.
So.
And how often this is going to be your first fight of 2019? Do you kind of, I know you say one fight at a time, but do you kind of do you sort of look back and say, okay, I'd like to have this many fights in 2019, should it all go to plan, or is it really just let's do Fightstar and then let's look at the next one?
Yeah, I might have actually another fight coming up in this summer, but yeah, I'm just gonna see. No, I would really like to get maybe 3 or 4 fights, but I'm kind of greedy about this, so yeah. Hopefully just a lot of fights.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And then in terms of, are there many shows, obviously, because your fights have been, you fought once was it in Czech Republic, your first fight? Where was your first fight?
Yeah, there was
And
the
then
European Championship.
yeah, and then 2 in the UK. Are there regionally in Iceland? Are there many shows you can jump on there, or even in sort of Scandinavia, or?
Well, there are actually no shows in Iceland. We can't compete in Iceland. It's I'm not sure if the right term is illegal, but there are some rules against it. But they're always trying to get it legalized,
Regulated.
regulated. Thank
No,
you.
it's not regulated. Yeah.
Yeah, but there is something. I think then if it gets regulated, they want to change the rules, and I think they want to always use shin guards or something. I'm not really sure how it works, but yeah. But it would be so awesome to be able to have a show here in Iceland, because people are really excited about it.
Well, that's it. And you've got Icelandic fighters coming up in the pros. You've got Arnie Isaacson. You've got Gunnar, obviously, who's kind of the biggest one out there, Gunnar Nelson. In your gym, are there, how busy is it in your gym? How many fighters are there looking to make a career out of it?
Well, we have a lot of aspiring new fighters coming up, and we have Magnus Loke, he's a pro, and Thor Paulsson, he's a pro. Thor of Thor, he's actually a double champ in cage steel. He's going for his 3rd title this July. And then of course we have a lot of amateur fighters now coming up, and it's the power in the gym is awesome. I love my gym. It's just like, it's my home. I would probably live there if I didn't have my dogs.
How far are you from the gym? Like, how long does it take you to get there?
It's just about like 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, that's okay then. So it is very, very local. Because, you hear some fighters have to make a journey every day. So that's good to hear. In terms of your corner, who's going to be cornering you on Saturday?
It's going to be Thor Paulsson and Sindri.
Great. Any of your teammates coming to watch, or is it just sort of not this time?
I think there are some people coming. I'm actually like, yeah, it's just this Saturday. Maybe I should check up on people. So I think my brother and his wife are coming. They live in the UK actually. So
nice. Whereabouts?
In Bournemouth.
Oh, that's not too far from Brentford. It's probably about an hour and a half, so that's okay.
Yeah, so they're probably coming. So I often go visit them. So it's time for them to visit me in the UK.
Nah, that's it. What about stuff like food-wise, how does Icelandic food compare to the English food? Like when you're here, what are you going to be? Obviously, you've been having your diet and stuff. What about after the fight? What are you going to enjoy? Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to?
We love Nando's.
Nando's, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, we always go to Nando's.
Is that before the fight or after the fight?
Probably just before, because I'm not sure what time it will be when we finish. So it just kind of depends on what's open.
Yeah.
So, and then we leave in the morning. So.
True, but yeah, one of the fighters that I know, he always has a Nando's. As soon as he weighs in, he goes to get a Nando's. That's like his.
Yeah, that's our plan as well.
It's a good plan to have. You can never have too much Nando's.
Love it. Can't wait to get that sweet mass.
But
so I'm just thinking about food right now.
And that's it. I mean, so I was going to say, how much are you thinking about food right now? How big is the cut?
It's not such a big cut. I mean, I'm good. Like, I'm maybe a kilo over.
Oh wow! So you don't even need to like water load or anything.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the water load now, but I'm like a kilo over. So.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Be fine then.
So I think I don't have to go to the bath or anything. So I'm really super happy about that.
Yeah. Is that the worst thing? The bath, the hot bath.
Yeah, I actually just had to do it once, and that was just like because of a kilo or something. So I was maybe a drama queen about it, like, oh, I have to do the bath. But it was just like just for 20 minutes or something, and then they made a burrito out of me. So, and I was good afterwards. So.
That's all right then. But I can imagine, the bath straight into the towels. It looks horrendous. Every time you see it, you think, how do you guys do that? So nothing but full respect. But Dammy, I don't want to take up much more of your time. I really do appreciate the time. A sort of final question from me is: you say you don't really know much. You don't know anything about your opponent. Do you have is it easier to do a game plan when you don't know anything about your opponent, in terms of you think, right, this is what I'm going to do, or do you really rely on your coaches to do the research, or does nobody? It's just you do your game and we'll see where it goes.
My coaches have, I think they've seen something, like maybe one video, or I think they know at least something about her. So they made kind of a game plan for me. But I always just think, like, she could have been working on so many other things since that fight. You never know about that. So, like, me in 2016 was a totally different one from who I am today, like physically, technically, and like mentally. And I think the mental game is the strongest one that you have to have, especially like for the bath. You don't want to be a weakling.
That's it. No, I agree. I think mental is always the top priority. You can be the best physical specimen, but if you're not ready to get your mind straight, it's no point.
Yeah.
And that's it. Look, Dammy, I really do appreciate the time. I'm going to let you get to packing. It sounds like you've got a few things to do before you fly tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you really much for this. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Dammy. We'll definitely on the night I'll be there, so we'll have another catch up on the night.
Awesome. I will look forward to hearing you saying my surname.
Like, I'll practice. I'm going to practice it. I'll get it right on video on Saturday night. Okay.
Okay. Awesome. I like it.
Thank you very much, Dan. Have a good day.
Have an awesome day.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.